In this session, we are going to open a Python file, then read the file. This process is very similar to writing information to a file. So let's start by typing file equal open. The file name will be file test from the previous session. We are going to look at two modes, reading and writing to a file, then only reading a file. I'm going to add a comment for each mode, R plus for reading and writing to a file, R for only reading a file. An engineer can make a mistake and think there is no difference between R plus and W plus. I said we will look at two modes, but let's make it three modes. From the last session, I demoed W plus, which is write and read. And we see the difference between R plus and W plus. The names are reversed, write and read, write, read and write. Let's start with R plus, which read and writes to a file. So the file pointer will be placed at the beginning of a file. Unlike W plus, the R plus mode will not create a new file if the file does not exist. Also, it will not overwrite an existing file. When I go back to the program, I would change the file name from file test to file tester. This project does not have a file called file tester. Make sure to close the file by typing file.close. Run, and there is still not a file called file tester. The console shows file not found error with an exit code of 1. Although the R plus mode, which read and write, is not able to read a file that's not in the directory. So I would have changed R plus to W plus, then run. Now we see the file, the new file. When I open it, there is no data in the file. Plus, we see an exit code of 0 in the console, which shows it was a success. Since there is no data in the file, let's write to the file test, which is the existing file, by removing ER and changing W plus back to R plus. Open this file one more time, and we see there are 5 rows of data, which includes a header. I will update the header by making it all capital letters, A for age, G for gender, and also N for name. You know what? I'm going to change gender to a different name. So when I go back to the file, I'm going to write file.write. The string will be capital N for name, then tab. Capital A for age, then tab. For gender, let's make it MRF, male or female, then insert a new line. Run, and now the console shows the file header has been updated to show all capital letters with MRF instead of gender. And notice the cursor is at the end of F. The command did not overwrite the file, but wrote a new line at the beginning of the file. Those are the 3 differences between W plus and R plus. W plus would have overwritten the file. Watch what happens when I change R plus to R. Now this command is set to only read the file. Run, and Python returns an exception that says file.write is an unsupported operation, not writable. We cannot write to a file if the mode is read only. The mode is read by default. Therefore, if I remove R, Then change the right line to a new message, a new string like default read. Only so when we read the file and run it, we see the same exception with a different message. Unsupported operation not writable. And we see default read. Now, I'm going to comment this right line and show you a different error that shows up if we try to read a file that does not exist. Place an S at the end of the file name, then run. The console shows file not found error. No such file or directory. To read the complete file, we can write file.read. Also print to the console and remove the S from the file name. Run, and the console shows each line with the same 5 rows of information. If we wanted to write another way to the console, we can print each line using a for loop. So let me comment that line and write for line in file, colon, print the line. This time when I run, we see the same information, but it has a new line after each row. So I'm going to comment this row of information and show you another concept that I showed in the previous session, so we can automatically close the file by writing with. The keyword with closes the file handler and simplify the message. Simplify and how we manage the file streams. Open, file name is file test. The mode will be R for read. And make sure to write as file with the colon. Print read file.read. And this time when I run, we see the console show the same name, age, male or female. Personally, it looks better than skipping a line after each row. There is one more concept that I want to show you with the with keyword. And this concept allows us to open more than one file at a time. So if I write with open, the file name is file test. The mode A+ for append and write as file. But this time add a comma and not a colon. And the next row will also be open. Again with the file name, file tester. Remember the file I created earlier in the session that did not have any data? Let's write to this file. W+ write and read to that file as the test file. Uh-oh. In the first file, I would append and write one row. File.write. The string, John, tab. Age will be 40. And the gender is male. Insert a new line. Now for the second file, let's write test file.write. And the verbiage will be just a write and read test. Run and look at both files when I finish. We see the updated information in the file. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next session.